Now, I only told probably like 3 people this story. But I'm gonna tell all my subscribers and everybody who's following me and the world this story today. And I kept my eyes closed. I kept my eyes closed because I knew what was ever touched. I kept my eyes closed because I knew what was touching me was spirit. It was spirit. And I'm in human form, so if I open my eyes, I'm not going to be able to see what was touching me.
Now, I think most people are familiar with Boonk, who was causing major havoc in the streets a few years back. It's safe to say that Boonk is obviously no longer a thing. John Gabbana, however, is, and he's completely turned his life around for the better. So, yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, John Gabbana, formerly known as Boonk, like I said, I think most people are at least familiar with the name or the face. Boonk is, of course, a thing in the past nowadays, but while he was an actual thing, he was causing a lot of havoc with all those viral social media stunts he used to post. Some of them you might have already seen, but here's one of them.
Go on, that. Go on, how you get a free cut, my nigga?
Man's had that crazy Joker laugh. That took me out. Looking back on these videos, they were pretty funny, no cap, but I think we all can sympathize with the people who were the victims in these videos, because imagine being a barber, showing up to your job, and then out of nowhere, one of your clients start doing the dash as soon as that fresh cut is complete. Anyway, throughout his time in the spotlight, John had a lot of big moments in the social media world, one of them being that no jumper interview when he passed out. John was doing an interview with Adam22 back in July 2018 when this happened.
Whole lotta.
I'll be up.
Shout out to the homie Boonk.
Oh my God.
That incident was the symptom of a deeper problem. That's something I think all of us who were witnessing it at the time knew. He was in a very bad place mentally, also looked very strung out, was physically deteriorating. He was just not in a good state overall. Like that video I made, Boonk was literally dying in front of us. Leading up to this moment right here, Boonk was posting some really concerning things on Twitter. A lot of these tweets seemed like cries for help. Considering how he showed up to that interview when he passed out, I didn't doubt a lot of the things he posted. It all made sense looking back on it. But that was, I would say, the turning point for John Gabbana. After that, in his own words, he isolated himself from the world in order to get his head straight.
So what happened after that legendary moment when you came on the podcast and sort of passed out and smashed your head on the wall right here?
Well, after that, it's like I really like isolated myself from the world. It was like, damn, it's just, I ain't had shit to say to anybody. I just stayed in my own world. To be honest with you, just like trying to get my head straight.
Must have been a very traumatic experience for him. Keep in mind, he was still in the spotlight as Boonk during that time. I guess he must have realized that he didn't really want to live like that anymore, which is understandable and good on him for even coming to that conclusion. Most people don't break out of destructive cycles like that, especially when you're so deep into it you start passing out on interviews. The next chapter for him though was the birth of John Gabbana. He left a Boonk character behind him and got his shit together. John Gabbana had the strength to kill that older version of himself that was clearly holding him back. I mean, yes, he was getting a lot of attention on social media, but at what cost? The cost for him was obviously his health, physical and mental. He was on a very self-destructive path that was only gonna lead to one or two places, dead or in jail. A lot of good things have happened for him since though, one of them being he's found God.
God exists, and we're separated from God by sin. We sin by nature, we sin by choice. Now God have left enough evidence everywhere and proof of his existence. Just go outside and look up. You see the sky, sun, clouds. God is a God of love, but he is also the righteous judge. God is kind and merciful, but he is also holy and just. Sin has to be accounted for. God appointed us a day where he would judge the world in righteousness. Everything that's done in the dark will be brought to the light.
On top of that, he also got baptized earlier this year.
John, we baptize you right now in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir.
this is a very inspiring transition, man. If you know where this guy started from, if you know how deep he was into the clout antics and the lifestyle that came with it, to see him go from that to this, it's a testament to the fact that you can change. If there was anyone you wouldn't think would go through this kind of transition, it's John Gabbana. Despite all the BS he went through, despite being so strung out he could barely conduct an interview, despite having all those cards stacked against him, he made it happen. I think what makes this story a little bit sad though is the fact that now that he's not acting a fool, now that he's changed his ways for the better, social media isn't paying attention to him anymore. He's not really going viral for all these positive changes he's made. He's not getting millions and millions of views on the videos he's posting about how he found God. People are unfortunately not interested in that, which should tell you something. What that tells me is that the dysfunctional behavior, the destructive nature of Boonk was nothing but entertainment for people. Now that that's gone, there's no reason to pay attention to John Gabbana. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I was entertained by it as well, but I've been going out of my way to follow the growth he's been going through because I knew that Boonk was only going to lead to John's demise, which luckily it didn't because he woke up, changed his ways. He's a man who's dedicated to his faith now. He just has a different kind of glow in his eyes now. I mean, just look at the guy. He actually looks happy, and hey, that makes me happy. So shout out to John Gabbana for turning his life around. I hope he stays on this path, and I hope more people pay attention to how much he's actually changed. But yeah, John Boonk Gabbana turned his life around. Good for him, man. Very good for him. Any thoughts on this though? What do you think about this crazy, inspiring transition? I think it's pretty inspiring, man. Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.